Hello, this is Lorraine again. I am doing another video. So, first I'd just like to say just a couple things. First, I've had many energies coming in this last week, just chatting me up quite a bit, and I'm not sure who's going to come through, so we'll just wait and see. The other thing I feel is really important to explain is that when I channel, I don't know, it's not really channeling. And I called it telepathic communication, but I don't really think it's telepathic communication either. I think these are words, part of the vernacular of the psychic community, the secret space program community, the this whole esoteric community. So in a previous video I said I had a message that kept coming to me. Actually in the middle of the night I'd wake up with this mantra, so to speak, coming to me, and it said, I am everything, everywhere, and nowhere. I permeate all things, unified always, never apart. And I stated previously I didn't write it down, and then after 5 days I finally just wrote it down and it stopped coming to me, and it's become one of my affirmations. So what I want to explain to you is this idea that's not exclusively applicable to me but to everybody, is that we are all, every single one of us have access to this. We are all everything, everywhere, and nowhere. We all permeate all things. We are all unified always, and we are all never apart. So when these energies come through me, and I just needed to explain that to you, because when these energies come, I'm not channeling their energy. I am not even necessarily telepathically communicating with them. Because again, as I've said in previous videos, every particle of energy holds the whole of the universe. DNA has many particles of energy that carry the whole of the universe. So not only is this within the energy of the universe, but it's within our body that the whole knowledge of the universe, all the information in the universe exists. So when these energies come, they're not necessarily coming to me from a different star system or from a different space. They are within me. And so as I communicate this information, it's not separate from me, it's part of me. So I guess in the best way that I could explain this to you through the current vernacular is that I become the energy. It is not separate from me. It is not channeling through me. It is not telepathically communicating. It is me. And I am that energy. And you'll hear this on different television shows on Gaia. I've heard Emery Smith say it many times, that I am you and you are me. And that's so true. That is so true. And the more we become aware of this, the more we strengthen our connections to one another. And that's what transcendence is, and that is what ascension is. That is our understanding of who we are in the scope, in relationship to the universe, and understanding that we are part of the universe and that we are connected to the universe and to each other irrevocably, forever. We are all connected, and that's actually a good thing, because once we're connected and understand we're connected, we work as a unifying force together for the betterment of all. Okay? So I just wanted to clarify that. So right now I'm going to just take a few breaths, and then we'll see who's coming in. And I hope I'll just be patient. So give me just a few minutes. Okay, so it is the mantis being that's come through this past week. It's the first time I've actually will be speaking. Normally it's just telepathically or communicating through my consciousness, and so I'm not sure how it's going to come out. But the first thing I want to explain is I had been communicating or chatting this energy up for quite a while, and then I realized I'm having a conversation with someone, and it's hard for me to explain because I'm normally in like an alpha state when I'm doing busy work and I'm cleaning or whatever, and so I'm just going, and then all of a sudden I realize that I'm actually communicating through this while I'm on automatic pilot. So as soon as I realized I was communicating with an energy, I asked, I'm like, hold on, what do I call you? And so the first thing I heard was 3 quick sounds that sound like a snap. So it's, and then 2 sounds. Then I heard this beautiful sound. And if you crickets, their wings make the sound that you hear at night. So I hear this beautiful sound. It actually sounds like a cello, a deep, and it went for about 5 seconds. And then I hear this sound of like bees humming. It's and it does it 2 times. So it's then it goes 2 times. And then I expressed so much joy and pleasure. I mean, it just moved me physically, emotionally. My vibration just went up when I heard that sound of the cello, that the wings, the sound that the wings made. And it moved me. I just wanted more of that. And so now when they do this, their name and sound, they'll end with that cello-like vibration, and I express gratitude for that because it just moves me, and so I try to reciprocate the joy that they give me by expressing gratitude. And then I said, well, what is a word? They said Shamalaya. They call themselves Shamalaya. And I immediately started thinking, okay, what could that possibly represent or mean? And so they said it's meant to parallel or represent Shangri-La, because this world is just going to be a Shangri-La. As soon as you move through this change that you're going through, this expelling this negative energy, this world will truly be what the people of Earth would acknowledge as being a Shangri-La. So that made me very happy. And then we continued the conversation. So Shangri-La is here. Nope, Shamalaya is here. And I'm going to let them just start to engage. Okay? And so I just wanted to also clarify, this is a very high energy. It felt very much like I had drank too much coffee, and I was just like wanted to like grind my teeth or clench my jaw. But within that energy of I want to say excitement. So it was high, like intensity excitement, and there was so much joy in their energy in communicating that I actually had to ask for a couple breaks to take a few breaths to kind of recenter myself, because it was almost like I was just getting so caught up in the moment. I just needed to stop, breathe, and just re-engage. And even though I wasn't physically clenching my jaws, I felt like I was clenching my jaws, if that makes any sense. So hello, Lorraine, we are here. You know why we are here, but we will explain why we are here. You have many concerns and questions about the information that is being presented regarding DNA manipulation and regarding an experiment. The first point that we will make is this is not an experiment. This is divine in its nature. This is how it is meant to be. No one is experimenting. That's the first thing that's very important for people to understand. This is not you are not someone's guinea pig. You are not living in a petri dish. This is a very important world, and it is a very important transition that you are going through, and we are here to assist. We are guides to your world. The energies that are participating in the physical DNA manipulation are karmically entwined with humanity. So there are experiences through your history where these energies have engaged you in a positive or a negative manner, and therefore your karmic circles are entangled. And as a result, they are here to assist with the transition. This is all by design. As you know, as you walk through your world, through your life, you make choices. Some are good, some are bad, but nevertheless, you learn lessons from all of the choices that you make, and you create a karmic circle. The good you put out is reflected back, just as the negative you put out is reflected back. Okay, and then the energies that you engage in a positive and a negative, from a positive and a negative place, you are now entangled in their karmic circles. Okay, because that's the nature of the universe. So throughout thousands of years of history, these energies have engaged humanity and now have been entwined in your karmic circles. They are now trying to help humanity transcend in a much smoother way. You have cycled back to the beginning. The universe moves in cycles. All stars have cycles. All worlds have cycles. Right now, you are cycling and transitioning and moving into a different cycle. These energies are attempting to help you transition and ascend to your next cycle. There is no negative intention in their actions, but you are entangled karmically with these energies, and that is why they are here. My people, my energy, our energy as a collective is very adept at understanding how DNA affects all life in the universe. And as such, we work as guides in this endeavor. We are not in a place where we manipulate directly, because we are not entangled in your karmic circle. It is these other energies that are entangled with humanity's karmic circle, and therefore it's their hands that are creating the changes in the human DNA. Okay? But we stand as guides or guardians in this endeavor to assist wherever possible or when necessary. We understand all outcomes of how DNA works. There are no mistakes when it comes to DNA, because within each particle of energy lives our divine creator's light. Everything is as it is meant to be. One of the most important things to understand about DNA, energy, particles of energy, and how this works is, as your world transcends, and those who transcend with Mother Earth can have whatever DNA is placed into your coding. But only the DNA that is vibrating at a level that matches Mother Earth is viable. Let me explain what I mean. There are beings that you refer to as the Zetas, Zeta Reticuli, who have manipulated their DNA. They have, by cloning, they have moved their consciousness from one clone to another over many millennia, thousands, millions of years. As a result, their DNA is no longer viable in its cloned form. They originated on Earth. Earth humans have their pure DNA before all the manipulation of the cloning. As they evolved and became Zeta Reticuli, as they separated from Earth humans and created a subculture of these beings of Zeta Reticuli, they created their own karmic circle, their own separate collective consciousness. They may have technology, and they may have evolved in technologically and have many more comforts than those people on Earth, but they have not evolved spiritually. They have not transcended. Their vibration of their energy, of their DNA, is still low. So, as you may have heard, their DNA is now being matched, spliced into human DNA, their original forefathers. Humanity's is the forefather of the Zeta Reticuli. So they're taking their DNA as it is, manipulated and not viable, moving it into human DNA of present day in hopes that their species, their people, will live through humanity. The issue is that until their vibration rises to that of humanity and matches humanity's vibration, their DNA will not be viable, even if it resides within your body. If their vibration does not match that of humanity as it transcends, it will remain dormant. It will be in your body, but it will remain dormant. The beings, Zeta Reticuli, must raise their vibration as a collective, or it will remain dormant. It will remain not viable. Do you understand this? They still must raise their vibration. They still must become the spiritual beings that we are, all of us, in order to activate their DNA, to activate their cosmic memory bank, if you will. Or the Zeta Reticuli will remain non-viable or dormant forever. So from that point, to understand, there's a whole other area of time and space that people need to understand, humanity needs to understand. And that is, all time is right now. There is no future. There is no past. There's only right now. With this understanding, then you ask, how can Zeta Reticuli be existing a million years in the future and then coming back? How does that work? It's not actually very complex, but from the place of your current evolution, it is very difficult to understand. And so let me just propose this to you. Humanity lives in a hierarchy. There's a top and a bottom. Everybody wants to be at the top, nobody wants to be at the bottom. There are varying degrees of, let's say, socioeconomic accomplishment. Poor on the bottom, wealthy on the top. There are varying degrees of vehicles. There's your VW Bug, and there is Rolls Royce, and there's all the things in between. There are different brands of shoes, of clothes, that you can buy, from low end, let's say, to high end. Different neighborhoods you want to live in. People want to live where there's wealthier homes, and nobody wants to live where there are small, dilapidated homes. This is the mindset of humanity. But let me propose to you this idea of a sphere where all things exist. There is no top or bottom. If you look at a sphere and then you turn it, where's the top? Where's the bottom? 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 A sphere is just what it is. It's round and it's all-encompassing. All things exist in that sphere. Now fill that sphere with all the colors all the colors of the rainbow. There's 7 colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Put those colors in the sphere. And within that sphere, each color represents a part of society, or a different race, or a different being in the universe, or a different spiritual entity. Angels, guides, God, elementals, ETs, let's put that in there. So you have all these energies within the sphere aiding, let's say, humanity. Is God on the top? Are the elementals on the top? Are the angels or the guides on the top? You must understand that all these energies work together to help humanity. sometimes humanity needs miracles. So the angels will come in strong, and let's put angels in yellow. And all of a sudden the sphere is a bright yellow, and all the other colors are just kind of flickering. And then all of a sudden, humanity needs someone to direct them. So the guides come in stronger, and let's make them blue. And the guides so there's a lot of blue and maybe a little less miracles. So there's a lot of blue and a less yellow, and all the other colors are just flickering. And then humanity, the oceans are dying and the earth is being contaminated. So we need those elementals to come in and start working on that. So all of a sudden we have, let's say, orange comes in and the elementals start working. And then all of a sudden there is catastrophe and chaos. And so there needs to be someone to order all the energies, and God comes in and starts the violet, let's make God violet, and starts kind of coming in a little stronger. Yet the angels and the guides are still in there. There's still a lot of blue and yellow in there, and the elementals are coming in pretty strong too. So there's a lot of orange going on there. So it's not that any one role is more important. It's that everyone has a role. All these roles are important, and they work as a unifying force to create change and goodness in the world. No one is better than the other. All are important. So we need to understand that as this truth, as we look at this idea of DNA, all the energy in the universe is important. All the energy in the universe is contained in one particle of energy. All the knowledge of the universe is contained in one particle of energy, and also within your DNA. No one piece of information is more or less important. But in order for certain energy to be viable, it needs to vibrate at the same level of the world that it exists in. That is universal law. So as Mother Earth transcends and her vibration rises, so must humanity. Humanity's energy must rise and match Mother Earth's. This is universal law, including the Zeta Reticuli DNA. That energy must rise and match Mother Earth. Otherwise, it will not be viable. So as the Zeta Reticuli's role in the universe continues, they must work to raise their vibration. And that is done by creating balance in their community, within their collective consciousness. One thing that has happened since they've realized that in trying to circumvent universal law and transferring their consciousness from clone to clone, they realize that they are responsible for their own demise, and that has created an incredible amount of humility. So that lesson may be enough to help them transcend and raise their vibration to match that of humanity, to match that of Mother Earth, so that their DNA can become viable. They have all of eternity to create the change. But as it is, as a physical being, their DNA is no longer viable. So the Zeta Reticuli, as they know themselves and as we know them, will eventually die out as a race. But they still have hope that their DNA will reside and become active within that of humanity. So as these energies, specifically the Zeta Reticuli, engage humanity, humanity is their hope to exist in the universe, to continue to exist in the universe. And that is true of many beings who have contributed their DNA to human DNA. it is an opportunity for their DNA to exist in the universe in a way that nobody could ever fathom. Each one of these races could never fathom, because humanity is extraordinary and unique in its diversity, in its world, in its land, in its people, in its animals, in everything about your world. It is extraordinary. It is unlike any other place. And so it is not only an honor to be incarnate on Earth, it is an honor for us to engage you in this manner on Earth. We are, if I may say, guardians of the DNA of the universe. That is what Mantis beings, energies, do in this universe. We are the keepers of this knowledge. We take this job very seriously. We do not evolve or transcend the same way you do, but we do transcend and evolve. We appreciate your energy, and we are absolutely part of your energy. We appreciate you, and we hope you appreciate us. Soon we will meet, and you will know us. You will know some of us in physical form. My collective has transcended the physical form. My collective oversees all Mantis beings. My collective is directly accountable, we answer directly to our divine source, from the bottom all the way up to the top. We are not directed by the source of all creation, but we are honored to serve all beings of the universe in this capacity. We all have value. We all have a role. No one more important than the other, yet all very important. All very important in the maintenance of humanity, of Earth, but also of the universe, of all planets, all worlds in the universe. And as humanity, Earth, transcends, you will become more aware of your role in the universe. And you will begin to play your role. To play it so beautifully as your music. Your instruments are exquisite and the sounds are inviting. We enjoy the vibrations that emanate into the universe from Earth. There are some not so pleasant sounds, so not so pleasant vibrations, but the music is enticing, exhilarating, elating. We enjoy it greatly, and we appreciate it. It is the music that will heal your world, and it can heal you right now. Listen to the music that you love and allow it to help quell your fears. Find balance in your lives and live your life from a place of faith and trust It is those things that will carry you through. Faith and trust in your divine creator, in God. Faith and trust in each other, your neighbors, your communities, your friends and family. Love one another and know that you are on a good path. You're just on a bumpy road right now, but eventually it will smooth out and the road will change and you will be on a different road that brings you joy, happiness, love, and at the end of that road you will see a sign and it will say, you are now entering Shangri-La. We are so happy to have engaged you in this moment. We are so happy to try to help you understand what your role is and what our role is in your transcendence. Please engage us as you will. If you are open, we are happy to engage you directly. Love and light to the people of Earth. We support you in your transcendence, and we welcome you to the galactic community. Thank you.